Meet King Buda, a name that echoed through the streets of Seshego Zone 3. He wasn't just a young man, he was a figure of influence, controversy, and chaos. As the co-founder of the infamous Burial 13 crew, he wielded power that both captivated and terrified the community. This is the story of King Buda, a tale of his rise, his downfall, and the tragedy that left community of Zone 13 shocked. The beginning of Burial 13. King Buda and his Burial 13 crew weren't your ordinary teenagers. Burial 13 was more than a gang, it was a movement that mixed fashion, music, and violence. The crew was easy to spot, they always wore Nike clothing and carried weapons like knives, machetes, golf sticks, and even baseball bats. They used these items not just for self-defense but to assert their dominance in the streets. Their music, including hits like Burial 13 Moya, was used as a weapon to provoke rival gangs and intimidate others. They performed their songs in taverns, but these performances were more than just shows, they were battlegrounds. The fights that erupted between Burial 13 and rival crews often turned bloody, with chaos spilling out into the community. King Buda, the leader of Burial 13, had a magnetic personality that made him the crew's general. He dictated what they wore, how they acted, and even when they fought. His influence stretched far, but it was feared and hated by the very community he grew up in. The dark side of King Buda. Burial 13's reputation for violence and disruption made them unpopular. Parents feared for their children, as the crew's actions discouraged young people from attending school. King Buda was seen as the mastermind, pulling the strings and leading his crew into constant conflict. His dangerous lifestyle wasn't limited to gang activities, he faced serious allegations, including the rape and kidnapping of a 14-year-old girl. Although he denied these charges and was acquitted due to lack of evidence, the accusations added to his infamy. The tragic night of 2020. Everything changed on New Year's Day in 2020. At a party meant for celebration, King Buda confronted an 18-year-old matriculant named Thariso Como. The dispute. A cap that King Buda claimed Thariso had taken from him. However, evidence later proved that the cap belonged to Thariso. What started as an argument quickly escalated into a deadly altercation. King Buda stabbed Thariso multiple times, targeting vital areas such as the kidneys. Thariso was rushed to the hospital but succumbed to his injuries a few days later. The murder sent shockwaves through Seshego Zone 13. Thariso was a promising young man, loved by his family and friends. His death left a void that could never be filled. The community mourned his loss, and many demanded justice. The trial and sentencing. King Buda was arrested and stood trial for Thariso's murder. During the proceedings, he claimed self-defense, stating that Thariso had provoked him. However, the evidence told a different story, and the court found him guilty of murder. He was sentenced to 17 years in prison, a verdict that left Thariso's family deeply disappointed. They felt the sentence was too light for such a brutal crime. Adding to the complexity, it was revealed during the trial that King Buda had been out on bail for the alleged rape and kidnapping of the 14-year-old girl when he committed the murder. This revelation further fueled the community's outrage. Life in prison. While in prison, King Buda's story took an unexpected turn. He earned distinctions in life orientation and sepedi, even receiving awards for his academic achievements.
The next one who also got 2 distinctions, distinction in life orientation and sepedi, home language, from LMN to Togizo, that is Mochemi, Dimakatso. Following ones are the ones who got 3.
This glimpse of potential for rehabilitation sparked mixed emotions among the community. Some admired his efforts to turn his life around.
Home language is from LMN to Tokito, that is Mochemi, Dimakatso.
King Buda mpyo.
The following ones are the ones.
While others believed he didn't deserve any form of redemption. For many, the pain of losing Teriso overshadowed any positive changes King Buda might make. A divided legacy. King Buda remains a polarizing figure. To some, he is a symbol of wasted potential, a young man who could have taken a different path but instead chose violence. To others, he is a reminder of the systemic challenges faced by youth in disadvantaged communities, where opportunities are scarce, and crime often feels like the only way out. His music is still remembered by some fans, but the shadow of his actions looms large. The story of King Buda and Burial 13 is a cautionary tale. It's about the consequences of unchecked influence, the devastating effects of violence, and the lasting scars left on a community. Teriso Komo's family continues to grieve, and Sir Sheho Zone 13 is still healing from the trauma of those dark days. Conclusion. As King Buda serves his sentence, the community of Sir Sheho Zone 13 reflects on the lessons to be learned. Can the cycle of violence be broken? Can young people like King Buda be guided towards better futures before it's too late? These questions linger, offering a chance for change and a hope that such tragedies will never happen again.